What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pop Gurus. Tonight we're going to be discussing, and heads up, spoilers, definite spoilers in this, but we're going to be discussing Bad Boys for Life, which we just saw. Be sure to check out our review of it. We posted a spoiler-free review. You can check that out. Let us know what you thought about it. But, you know, I gotta say, first off, not even really about the movie. We all went to see it in theaters, and man, the hype is real for this movie. They had us lined up out the door to get tickets to it. And I mean,
they didn't even open the doors until
crazy.
The previews were about to start.
Everybody was out to see Bad Boys for Life.
It was
early shows,
It was
too.
a packed theater and a matinee on a Saturday, which is good.
Yeah.
Early returns have it making $70 million this weekend, which is crazy. I mean,
yeah, the initial predictions were like
40,
30 to 50, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it blew that out of the water. So in our review, you know, we all gave it, I mean, we're kind of similar. Andy gave it a 3.5. Billy gave it a, what, 4?
4.
I gave it a 4.5. You know, be sure to go watch that review. But, you know, overall, I mean, it was a great movie. It was everything I expected it would be.
It's a lot of fun.
You know, there were definitely some things there with it. I mean, you know, it started off a little weird to you guys.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the movie, basically it is like a by the numbers, like, action movie. Like, you literally know exactly, there's no surprises. Like, every scene, you can basically know exactly what's going to happen. It also took a while to get it into like a Bad Boys kind of movie. Because you kind of, like, there's in the very beginning, it starts off with what you think is a chase scene. It's not a chase scene. And halfway through this chase scene, like, I knew what was happening. I knew exactly. The only thing I will say, and again, this is a spoiler review, the callback to Bad Boys 2 with the daughter and what is his name? Ronald?
Yeah.
I think his name's Ronald. Like, that was great.
I don't know, man. See, to me, I thought that was perfect lead in, because we haven't seen the two in so long. For them to just immediately jump in and bam, here we're in the middle of the plot, I don't really think that would have been appropriate. I kind of feel that what they did with not letting us know what was going on and they're rushing to the hospital for his granddaughter's birth,
That's what they were trying to do.
Right.
We knew what was going on.
But also, Martin Lawrence is playing Detective Murtaugh. Get over this. Slow down, Rick! Slow down!
I will say, that's been Martin Lawrence in basically every Bad Boys movie.
Right,
So.
I know, but like, there was a level. Like,
Also,
in Bad Boys 2 and stuff, when they have the S just got real. That was a different Martin Lawrence from, slow down, Riggs!
To be fair, Martin Lawrence is like 8 years older now, so he's in his like 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow still a cop.
Right.
The other thing was like, it's a Bad Boys chase. No one's shooting. We know this is not a real
Nor
chase.
do we see a vehicle being chased.
And then also, and they're like blocking off like streets for them. You think the police are chasing them? That's the feeling they want you to have.
I mean, but that's possible.
Then you see police blocking off for them.
But that's possible. With those two, it could be
Fair enough.
entirely possible that the police were chasing them.
For like a split second, I thought they were going to do something where like they were undercover and this is them coming out of undercover, and that's like why we haven't seen them in 8 years.
Right.
Could
have happened.
They actually did like a weird call. Like they kind of did that later in the movie, talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I like that their career is taking place in real time, like 25 years, and that's what, almost been the time since the first Bad
That's
Boys?
kind of like how it is, yeah.
So,
It's crazy to think that it's been that long. Wow.
You know what I really liked in the beginning of the movie, and then all like through most of the movie, was the use of the Bad Boys theme song, and actually like not giving it to us, because like you don't get it until like later in the movie, but you think you're going to get it, like right in the beginning you think you're going to get it, and then he slams the door into the fire hydrant, and it cuts the music off, and you're like, oh whoa, and then they start singing it, and then no, we're not going to get that.
I was disappointed there was no P. Diddy though. At all. Nowhere in the movie. I kind of thought, like, as we went on
but we
the
got
movie,
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, but...
So maybe P. Diddy was, like, not available or something. Who knows?
Because he's so busy doing...
But, I mean,
I do.
I thought they would have at least played the song. Like maybe it was coming off of a car stereo somewhere.
No, we got it though. We did get the P. Diddy song in the very middle. Like when they finally played it, when he's finally like, let's do this Bad Boys for Life, they played the Bad Boys song. Yeah. There was one time we got it in the very middle.
It must have just been a snippet that I missed.
It's after finally Martin Lawrence decides to come back. And because in the beginning, Martin Lawrence says he's retired.
Right.
Basically, Will Smith gets... So the story of the movie is that this Mexican woman breaks out of jail, and her son has been working and training his whole life to take over the criminal operation. And they need to... His father has died, and they're going to kill the people that were responsible for putting his... It's a little convoluted.
I'm still stuck on P. Diddy. If you saw the movie and you heard P. Diddy's song, comment below. Let us know. I don't think we did. I don't know if
maybe we didn't get the P. Maybe we just got the cops.
Comment
theme.
below.
We just got the cops.
Maybe
theme.
we just got the cops theme.
Yeah, because they play the cops theme like when they're rolling up to the party.
Yeah, that's when he finally comes back. Yeah.
Right. The other thing, I was worried because it seemed like I would say this is kind of redemption for Will Smith. Like he's good in this movie. He's fairly charismatic, the Will Smith that we grew up with. And then early on, when he gets kind of taken out, like, is this going to be After Earth 2? Where he's just laid up for like the whole movie and he's just like coaching people like the armchair quarterback?
That was kind of like one of the issues I had with the movie. Well, I had a lot of issues with this movie. If you watch the non-spoiler review, you'll know that there's a lot of this movie that I just don't like. A lot of like the time jumps in this movie were just like, they don't even tell you that there's a time jump. Like
they told us one was 6 months later.
The only way you can tell if the time jump happened was the kid, his grandson is older now over and over again. And then he's in the wheelchair, but he shows up at they try to make it seem like it's the funeral, but it's not. It's a wedding. Like
we knew that was
But in a Bad Boys movie, an action-packed buddy cop comedy, do we care about stuff like that?
No, we don't.
That's the beauty of it, though.
And that's why I said in our other review that like even though all of these things that I don't like, you end up not caring about it because it's a Bad Boys movie. I mean, like they introduced 4 new characters for this ammo task force that they're working with. That's kind of like the callback to like 21 Jump Street. And then it's like supposed to be like the young versus the old. We get like a little bit of dialogue and then they're like, whatever, we don't even care about this anymore. Let's go back to Bad Boys.
Don't worry about these guys though.
Like the one guy is literally the only thing memorable about him is the punchline of that Will Smith banged his mom. The girl has no character whatsoever. Yeah. I don't know what her character's supposed to be.
Other girl, not the young girl, flame, but the
young girl. Yeah. No character whatsoever. Like I don't know her. I couldn't even tell you her name.
Right.
And then the big white guy is the nerd tech guy, which is funny because normally in the Michael Bay Bad Boys movie, it's John Sally who's like the nerdy tech guy.
Right.
Now we get this like young white guy who's this massive dude.
Yeah.
Who's now a pacifist.
Because he used to be a bouncer and he
almost killed some guy. Yeah, he killed some guy with one punch.
The plot twist, though, the fact that was his son the whole time, I honestly didn't see that coming. I didn't think that Bad Boys would go to a level like that on us. I really didn't see that coming.
It was there, like they were pulling out every other cliche trope.
So again, they took from another movie. This is basically like the sequel to Man on Fire. If Denzel Washington had lived and had hooked up with the drug dealer's wife and had a kid, like that's this movie. Like, and that's or the second half of this movie after we get the twist. I didn't see the twist coming. I didn't think he was gonna, mainly because they didn't like allude to that at all.
But I was also expecting him to reference that in the end scene when he's holding his the baby. He's like, I am a father, but
nothing.
I would have figured they would have said something there.
Again, it was like it's a plot point and a story point that they don't care about because it's a Bad Boys movie. Right. And all we want is the Bad Boy stuff. And I'll tell you what, you talked about Will Smith being charismatic in this movie. The star of this movie is Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence was
he really
fantastic. Every scene
That's because he spoke to our souls.
Yeah, he penetrated our souls with his heart.
Hashtag penetrate our souls.
Yeah.
But he was hilarious. The comedic timing was perfect. All of his lines hit.
Oh, the comedy was on point.
And it was Bad Boys comedy. It was definitely like, I didn't think a lot of the action was typical Bad Boys action because it wasn't Michael Bay. It was Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the action. Like the
slightly scaled down.
The Will Smith fight scene, fist fight on the rooftop.
That was fun. But that
was awesome. That was a great fist fight scene.
But that's not Bad Boys. Like I can't think of another fist fight we had in any Bad Boys movie. That's a Jerry Bruckheimer thing.
Yeah.
Jerry Bruckheimer likes hand-to-hand combat. Right. He likes close-in combat.
The going across the floor of the garage, shooting. That was very like Michael Bay and everything else. That's typical Bad Boys.
Yeah, that was a little bit of that.
It was definitely action-packed, I think.
It felt, a lot of times, sometimes it felt like it was Jerry Bruckheimer trying to make a Michael Bay movie, which the one thing Michael Bay does really well is he shoots action really well.
Yeah.
Like, there's the chase scene on where they're chasing after the guy on the motorcycle and he has the big gun. And a lot of that was like, there's too much shaky cam. Like, when it's on, they're close on their face and then you just get shaky
That
cam.
whole scene, though, was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
That whole scene was so funny.
Also, I'm tired of the movie trope of I throw a grenade and like the biggest fireball ever in the history of like...
Bad Boys has got to be a little campy like that. It wouldn't be Bad Boys if it didn't have that campy humor.
And then, of course, he jumps onto like a truck that has like fuel tanks. Of course, there happens to be fuel tanks there, and like they're getting shot and blown up, and like, it was very like, it was Bad Boys. It was, And again, it's like all of these things. If it wasn't a Bad Boys movie, would have been bad. But because it's a Bad Boys movie and it has Martin Lawrence and it has Will Smith, and they do hit those like bad boy notes, like, and their chemistry is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It like you get forgiven all of these like cinema sins, like all these movie sins.
Now, so when we go to review these movies, I purposely don't watch trailers. I don't read anything about the movie. I go in completely blind to it. So I had no idea that they'd already signed on for another Bad Boys until the ending of this movie, where it is apparent there's going to be another Bad Boys, which, I mean, that's part of the reason why I don't do that stuff, is because I was just like, wow, what? I didn't see that coming. I thought this was going to be it. What do we think they're going to do for the next one? I mean, obviously the son is going to have a role. Are they going to let him out? Is he going to be in prison advising them?
How do you like... I don't think he'll be in prison. I think he'll be out doing
CI
stuff. But it's like, where does he go undercover?
He has
to. Is it still Miami? Can Bad Boys finally get out of Miami? I mean, I know they're Miami cops, so it's like they're in Miami.
Is he going to turn on his father?
No.
You don't think so?
No, we already had that.
You don't think there's a
when he has the moment of saving Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like, that's the moment. Like, then he's now his father's son.
He's accepted Uncle Marcus into his life. He's good.
I do like the fact that they, like, sent him to prison. Because there have been, bad action movies in the past where, like, this guy just sniped everyone on the planet. And then at the end, they're just like, we're friends now. Yay.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that there was going to be more with the son when they had opportunities to kill him and they didn't. So I'm like, why are they keeping this guy around? It's not just for this plot. But I don't know. Tell us in the comments. If your son was chasing you and had already shot you 3 times and was still trying to kill you, what would you do? Comment below. That's a good question. That's a hard...
Would you wrap it up if you're doing a witch?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
This movie is very rated R, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Which I forgot that Bad Boys was rated R. Like, there was a lot more language in this movie.
Yes.
To, like, hammer home the fact that this is an R-rated movie, guys. So we're not messing around.
Yeah.
Like, also, how do we feel about the villain in this movie? Like,
the son or the
witch?
Either one.
Or the lady.
I mean,
she's a non-factor until the end of the movie.
But like,
she's
like any of her scenes are like intense. When she like pulls that like weird voodoo thing on the prison guard in the beginning,
that was cool. That was amazing. That was a great scene. And then also everybody, but again, that was like the predictable thing. Like they go in and like stab her, and then the 2 guards come in and grab the guard and like take her
There's
away.
no
Like,
way that, like,
that's
why
the
did they
mom.
believe that person was alive?
That's the mom, right? Like, yeah, there's literally like enough. This was the bloodiest Bad Boys movie.
Yeah.
as
Oh,
well,
yeah, it
too.
really was.
There's a lot
Because
of them.
like all human
All
bodies
of her
full
blood
of blood
exited her
was
body.
on the floor.
all of it. Yeah, she might be alive. Let's get her to the
Will
ambulance.
Smith gets shot. That was the worst blood. That was the most obvious Squibs blood I've
Yeah.
seen in a while. Martin Lawrence gets stabbed a bunch of times. He's bleeding.
Yeah.
Will Smith gets jacked up by his son, bleeding everywhere. The son gets shot. He's bleeding out. Like his whole shirt. Joe Pantoliano,
Everybody got
the
shot.
captain, gets shot in the neck and his
Everybody
blood,
gets shot.
just blood everywhere. He was great again.
And that kind
Yeah.
of sucks that he's gone because I liked him as
He was a
captain.
good captain.
Yeah.
There's no
I
bringing
did
him
like
back.
the callback to previous Bad Boys movies. It seems like he's good now. Like he's got everything under control, and then stuff starts to go sideways, and he pulls out the Pepto Bismol and like starts trying like Bad Boys. It's Bad Boys, yes. I do wish that the Cuban cops from previous Bad Boys movies had been in it because I like them. They're not, but we get replacements.
Yeah.
The blonde guy who for most of the movie has just been sitting behind a computer. When he went off
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, that was some of the best
He
action.
tackled the column.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
dumb. That was terrible.
He Goldberg speared it.
Yeah.
He
Do
did.
you remember?
When he
He did
but
the-
We
Superman
did
punch
another
earlier.
review on another movie where I was griping that I didn't get a Goldberg spear, and I finally got a Goldberg
You got
spear
your Goldberg
in a movie.
spear of a
You're on Pop
column.
Cruise.
But like when they do this kind of like this, some of the way some of the action was shot was weird. Like to me, like some of the choices they made as far as like it was all over the place sometimes, and then you got like that nice side shot of like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith on the motorcycle where he's shooting backwards and Will Smith is shooting forwards. But the best action scene, the way it was shot to me, was when the blonde kid starts going off and he
Yeah.
shoots one guy,
He
does
just
a
like
jumping
runs
knee,
through like a panel of people.
does the Roman Reigns Superman punch
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
other guy. Like that was great.
I loved it. I thought it was great. If for some reason you watch this and you haven't seen it, I definitely think you need to go see it. It was a fantastic movie. Were there issues with it? Yeah. For
The
me,
pacing's not bad either, though. Like it moves along pretty well.
yeah.
So,
You never get bored.
no, you don't really get bored.
There's some like another thing that I had was when they're trying to be dramatic and they were trying to have like dramatic moments with some of the characters. Then when it wasn't Will Smith and Martin Lawrence together, it'd be like Will Smith with somebody else or Martin. Almost lost me because I was like, I don't care about any of this. Just get back to Bad Boys.
yeah.
But none of those
see that.
none of the scenes were very long anyway.
Yeah.
So even when that kind of was like, you immediately got back to another Bad Boys scene and you were fine with it. Like, where would you rank this in the Bad Boys movies? Like, how would you rank?
I think it's.
I think 1 is the most forgettable. Like 1 is,
Yeah.
I don't know.
2's
See,
the best one to me.
2 is my
2's the
favorite.
best. Yeah. So I guess I'll put this the 2, 3, 1.
That's where I would have it too.
Yeah.
See, I'm torn because 1 was the introduction, so
Right.
1 to me is always going to be special. 2 was fantastic.
I can't even tell you anything about 1
Yeah.
except for that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are in it, and I think it's Taya Leone is the.
Yes. Yes.
Is the girl?
That is it.
But I don't know why. Like I think, like I don't know anything else. I don't know why they're being protect. I can't remember.
I don't
why.
think it necessarily needs to be better than any of the others. I think it just needs to serve its purpose as a sequel, and I think it did that perfectly. It fits into the Bad Boys movies perfectly as a sequel.
There were a lot of people in the theater as we were walking out saying that this was the best Bad Boys movie.
I think you could definitely make an argument for that if you're looking past the first one introduced us to the movies.
Right.
Then I think you definitely have a good argument towards that. But, enough about what we think. Let us know in the comments, what did you think of the movie? What would you have done differently? What are you hoping to see in the next one? Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when our next video is coming out. And hey, hit us up on Facebook and Twitter at Pop Gurus on both of them. And we'll catch you on the next one.